some bunnies with a bazooka dunk.
Way downtown. Bang! Bang!
Mama, there goes that man.
Welcome to A Tribe Called Switch. This your boy B Moore running the 3-man weave with Jay Money and Kev from Ohio. How y'all doing, fellas?
Good, my brother. Good.
All right,
good,
again, another episode. You know, like, subscribe, share. Don't be ahead of your whole life. So you know what we gonna lead off with. My Celtics doing what they do best, shooting themselves out of the playoffs. So you know what? I'm not even gonna lead this topic off yet. I'm gonna kick it to Jay Money because I got a lot to say. So I'm gonna let him breathe first and tell me what you saw in this terrible series that the Celtics had, because you know they were up 3 games. Yeah, they're up 3 games.
3-1. Yeah.
So go ahead, talk, Jay Money.
Okay, so I feel like, yes, the Celtics did shoot themselves in the foot, but they lived by the 3 and they died by the 3. I feel like they had a better chance of winning this series if Jason Tatum didn't come back. I feel like because they had the team chemistry was a lot better. They did very well with just Jaylen Brown at the helm. And like he literally carried this team. And I feel like when Jason Tatum came back, he took over the spotlight from Jaylen Brown. And I feel like it dropped their chances of them winning, because if Jason Tatum isn't making shots, he's basically pretty much useless. And then Jaylen Brown, like the visual perspective is Jason Tatum here. Jason Tatum's not doing well. Jaylen Brown now has to rev up his own engine because he's taking a backseat to Jason Tatum, you know, just performing and dropping 24, 30, whatever the case, be dropping triple doubles. And so I'm not going to blame Jaylen Brown. I'm not going to blame Joe Mazzulla for the loss on this series. I'm blaming Jason Tatum coming back too soon, where he should have just waited until next year, because he saw how Jaylen Brown was doing and he was a runner-up in the MVP votes. And he was like, what? I'm not letting this dark-skinned nigga come outshine me. I'm going to show him how the light skins do it. So, I mean, I feel like it was really just teammate chemistry. And I feel like, I don't know if you guys saw the clip, like Jaylen Brown was also coaching up Jason Tatum on the Sixers series when they were up 3-1. And he was like, I got, you know, Paul George, you just do your thing and I'll, you know, you take the shot, whatever. So I feel like it was too soon for Jason Tatum. It's Jason Tatum's fault that the team lost. We put too much. We didn't treat Jaylen Brown fairly enough in this series. Joe Mazzulla, I feel like, had a game plan just surrounding Jaylen Brown and the other team, and it was working throughout the season. And then when Jason Tatum came back, it just took over. It just kind of shifted things too much. So that's how I feel.
All right, Kev, what do you have to say?
I hear you, Jay Money. I hear you, man. You know, the funny thing is, it's like that Boston team is just like a lot of different narratives, right? I think, to your point, Jay Money, they did have a rhythm, you know what I mean? And that rhythm did break a little bit, because now you know, I got 1A and 1B. You know, I can look away Jaylen and throw it to Jason. I can look away Jason and throw it to Jaylen, but it's like sometimes that does break the rhythm. But I also look at coaching. You know, it's like they got a lot of pieces, and they don't have to be just this 3-point shooting team. They really don't. I know you have Vucevic. You know, I know you got all these guys who can kind of shoot on the perimeter, but you can't go outside in. They just kind of choose not to, you know, for the most part. And I also think it was a bad draw. You know, Philly would have given anybody in the East a fit, you know what I mean? Because just of the pieces that they actually have. So Boston, did they overachieve a little bit? Sure. I still think they're a playoff team, even if they're missing one of their stars. But, you know, in the end, they just didn't get it done. In the end, something did break the rhythm. And in the end, they might want to blow that up. I think they should really consider moving Tatum to make a move at Giannis.
All right. I'm not even going to get to that yet. I might get back to that. All right. So we saw this last year. This was the most predictable outcome ever. He ran the same game plan. Remember how we sat here, Josh, last year as they shot themselves out of the series against the Knicks.
Yeah.
And they did it again. Look, man, it's not and we say this every week, man, it's not rocket science. We've
Mhm.
all played basketball. And we all know, hey, if your shot isn't falling, get closer. Try for a layup. Try for a dunk. Try for maybe a non-contested shot. Now, to Boston's defense, they had some open shots that just weren't falling.
Mhm.
Still, they could have at least taken 4 steps in, got a better open shot. But
Yeah.
they didn't. They didn't. And this is why this team won't win again. They can't. I don't think they need to blow it up. I think this team is a good team. This team could perennially always be in the Eastern Conference Finals. But they've peaked. I think their window is closed. I think this is I think that
Oh.
I think this team is done for championships, but they're going to be a good team for the next few years. I mean, for sure. They've got the talent, they've got a good rotation, they got the right people, they got a good bench. They've got a coach who's good enough to always get to the playoffs, but don't know how to make adjustments. I mean, how hard is it for you to go in the huddle and say, hey guys, 3-point line is not falling. We are 4 for 30. How about we try to go to the hole, get to the free throw line, get a rhythm, and then go back to chucking threes.
Mhm.
This is something that all the great coaches have done. Anytime you think of a great coach, they make either in-game adjustments or game-to-game adjustments.
Mhm.
What adjustments did Missoula do? They're up 3-1. What adjustments did he do? So I know people in Boston are like they're split, fire him or keep him. No, fire that hoe. Fire him. Fire that hoe now. Because if you want championships and you've got Jaylen Brown, you've got Jason Tatum in their prime under long-term contracts. If you want championships, you fire that hoe now and try to get somebody else. Because listen, I mean, let's be real. What's the difference between a Joe Mazzulla and a Mike Brown?
Oh, stop it.
No, I'm just saying. The same thing we complain about Mike Brown of the lack of adjustments and not being able to move like this. There's not a difference. And you can be that person, be like, listen, my system works and we have success. But every great coach have shown you get into the playoffs, the game slows down because you're seeing these people, you're seeing the same team every other day. And all this dude does is say, hey, let's shoot another 53 pointers.
Be more. Let me ask you this: with two supermax players active, I think they do have a say in the coach. When you say fire that hoe, I get it. And that's the spirited fan of you talking. But I don't know if the two megastars are going to sign off on that. I don't know that. And but I get your critique about his lack of adjustments because again, to your point, I know it's hard to plan for Joel, but yeah, you didn't attack it any different, and I just to your point, he kind of got out coached, in those last games coming down the stretch, but I just don't know if they had the personnel either way. If you put another coach in that situation based upon their personnel, I don't know what adjustments they make. Where if you're not going zone, if you don't have the personnel to slow down what they faced, but I get the critique. I do.
I feel like I gotta disagree with you a little to the point, Kev, about not having the personnel. Because I look at Joel Embiid, like I feel like they do have the personnel because you got Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Derek White as well, who's also a really good defensive player too. And as far as guarding Joel Embiid, I feel like they could have given him the Kevin Durant treatment like the Lakers did with the Rockets. Throw different coverages at him, blitz him a little bit, throw him off his rhythm. I feel like Joe Mazzulla did try to do that. Like the Lakers don't technically, if we want to be the Celtics and Lakers kind of have like the same type of personnel. If we really kind of want to be, if we want to look at it a little bit in a different lens. Granted, like Lakers have maybe one or two more defensive players on their roster, like Jared Vanderbilt and Marcus Smart, but like though the Celtics also have those kind of guys that can help with that. That could have done that with Joel Embiid. Like he had Jaylen Brown guarding Joel Embiid at the post. He had him locked up. And then he could have had Derek White come behind him, which I did see a couple times, kind of swipe the ball from him, which caused a couple turnovers, which is why that last game was so close. And I think Joe Mazzulla saw that it was working, but it was way too late in the series to start making that adjustment and be like, yo, okay, we're gonna start doing what the Lakers did with Houston, have 3 or 4 double team, triple team, because if anything, Tyrese Maxey is just gonna keep going to the paint. He's fast, but you're not gonna rely on him to shoot a 3 all the time. VJ Edgecombe is not a good 3-point shooter, but he was shooting the lights out during that series too. Go ahead, Kev.
So I hear you, Jay Money, but it kind and you alluded to it in the Houston series. Personnel makes a difference because Maxey in the end may be the fastest point guard in the end, him and De'Aaron Fox. So it's kind of hard to slow that down. It's also going back to what you said. Edgecombe hit back-to-back threes. Oubre hit one. PG can kind of create on their own. So because they can attack you in various ways, it's not as simple as, hey, just send a double at Joel. Joel's a good passer out of the double. He's almost automatic from the free throw line. That elbow jump shot, they attack you in so many different ways. It's just tough to say throw a double, throw different looks when they can attack you in various ways. And if the jump shooters are hitting jump shots, what do you do? What do you do?
You kind of chalk it up to the game at that point too. Yeah,
they made Vucevic unplayable. Like he barely got off the bench. Derek White didn't have his best series. Tyrese Maxey abused every single guard they had. So the one adjustment he did make that I will give him credit for, he did go to zone in Game 7, and that slowed them down. But for some dumbass reason, when they cut the lead, I didn't know what was happening. They cut the lead down like 6 or something, or 5, something like that, and then he went back to man, and then they started abusing them again. I'm just like, why did you get this? Because all of a sudden the Sixers went cold because Edgecombe went cold for a bit. PG went cold. Maxey wasn't shooting. He was trying to get Joel involved. And the minute the possession they switched back to man, Maxey started abusing them down the stretch. And he was like, I'm getting to the hoop. And I'm like, why would you get out of the zone? It was working. It was working. So this is what I'm saying. Like, how can you not place the blame on this? Because when he makes a good coaching decision, they start to win. When he just does nothing, they lose. And you can't coach the regular season like you do the playoff. And one last thing on him. I think his personality type is that he thinks he's always right.
You hate his personality.
Huh?
You hate his personality.
I do. But I think and I don't know who his assistants are or just anyone who can kind of just like get in his ear, but I think he won't listen to reason. And every great coach had that assistant. Phil Jackson had Tex Winners. That used to be like, hey, I know you're a genius, but this is what's happening. You may want to do something. And I don't know if he has that person on the bench who he respects or he will listen to, but I just don't. This is one that goes back. I just don't understand how he's so terrible at this. I just don't.
So I think I guess, with that being said, a perspective is, does he need stronger assistant coaches, offensive and defensive coaches, to match his personality? Because we've seen that, which I feel like we've seen that with different franchises who have won rings, and it helps them be more successful. Like Steve Kerr, I love my Warriors. Steve Kerr had Mike Brown and Luke Walton and a couple other guys as well, so which helped him be really successful. He had great offensive and defensive minded coaches, and then he had Kenny Atkinson as well. So when you have these type of personalities that match the head coach personality, you see it be really successful. So I feel like what Boston might need is stronger assistant coaches to be like, actually, no, like, Joe, I know you're like bash your head against the wall till it bleeds and then show how tough you are, but let's try to go around this wall and do it this way. And I feel like once you have a strong voice in your staff like that, it will make them better. I feel like that's what Boston is missing.
Mm-hmm. I hear that, Jay. I'm sorry, be more. I hear that, Jay Money, but you tell me, Jay Money, when was the last time you saw an update on an ESPN ticker? Wizards sign assistant coach such and such for a 2-year deal. It don't happen like that. I mean, when a new coach comes in, he brings his staff, and
Yeah.
you just endure from that point. So I hear you, but yeah, I guess with a deeper dive, it may be that to your point. Phil had Tex Winters and Jimmy Clemens. You know what I mean? Steve Kerr had what was it? Alvin Gentry. So it's like
Rachel, yeah.
these coaches are there, but generally they come in as one regime, and it's that
Yeah.
rare do you see an assistant come in, being brought in like a free agent. It just don't happen that way.
For sure.
Didn't
for sure.
Atlanta do that too, though? Because I think Quinn Snyder didn't Atlanta. No, I'm thinking of the Lakers. The Lakers did that with JJ Warder got hired. He got Nate McMillan and somebody else. I think he did bring on Nate McMillan at the last second, though.
Because they wanted for JJ, they wanted to make sure that he had experienced coaches on the staff because he didn't have any. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're gonna jump to the T-Wolves don't quit. The T-Wolves don't quit. Listen, I'm not doubting this team anymore. I'm done. I'm out of doubting the Timberwolves business. I've doubted them every single game. At every single game, I have to come and be like, hey man, all right, y'all got it. Ant came on and dropped 18. Rudy Gobert played Wemby well, and it looks like they have this strategy of like they don't care how many times Wemby blocks their shot; they're just gonna keep going downhill, and that's a very interesting strategy that I haven't seen. Is like, block it, fine, cool. We're just gonna keep coming at you, and eventually things will happen.
Yeah,
if only Boston would do that. But, so so what are y'all seeing? What are y'all seeing so far? T-Wolves up 1-0. What do y'all think of the series, Kev?
Be more. I think it's intriguing, man, because Minnesota, what sticks out for me is McDaniel's play. I think I'm seeing a lot of versatility in his game. I think him just being known as a defender, he's definitely a two-way player. He's shown me moves off the dribble. He's shown me moves in the elbow, and I really like what he brings to the table. And how dare you be more intro, but not mention Julius Randle. What down the stretch, they showcased him, man. They call plays for him. They cleared out, operate, big fella. And a few times he delivered. You know what I mean? A few times he should have just passed it. But I think it shows you his versatility, and he's just an interesting player to me, man. Because statistically, you go look at it, he's improved every year. Even his time with the Knicks, he's improved, and he gets a lot of criticism. But I do think, in the end, I think when you surround him with guys who are like the guys, he'll fall right in play. But if you put him around guys who are just like none of them emerge being the guy, and he doesn't mind trying to be the guy. I think he has that type of temperament, and you can win with a guy like Randall as long as you got the right guys around him. Lastly, I think their versatility is just through the roof. Like that the player they had, that lefty, what's his last name?
Shannon Brown Jr., I think it is.
Terrence Shannon Jr.
Terrence Shannon, yeah, it's Terrence Shannon, yeah.
He gives you like the grit of Castle from San Antonio.
Yeah.
It got the aggression. I just think his emergence is like DiVincenzo, who, what I mean, because he stepped in and just kind of took his job. And then the Asian veteran from the Ohio State, Conley's been giving them some good minutes.
Yeah,
so
he has been.
I'm not surprised, and it's funny. Every time I see Rudy, I go back to when he was during the pandemic. He just kept touching everything. That was crazy.
I will never shoot him bail. I will forever not like that dude.
But all in all, man, that Minnesota team, they definitely have a lot of grit and a lot of fight. And it's funny, man. I just think I don't know. They're probably more dangerous than what we think, but I still would pick the Spurs to win it.
I would say this is more of a deadlock series. It could really go either way. And so I pulled up the stats again. Both teams didn't really have like a clear leader in statistics. Like Minnesota, pretty much, I think everyone had almost double digits, no matter who was on the floor. I think the lowest person that scored had 2 points, and that was Clark. But he also did really good defensively too. Like he put a lot of pressure on that team. But Julius Randle, 21, McDaniel, 16. Shannon 16, Gobert 7 and 10, Mike Conley 12, Naz Reid 12, Anthony Edwards 18. Like everyone chimed in, and then the same with the Spurs. Everybody was in double digits, so it really could go either way. The only thing that I feel like the Spurs will shoot themselves in the foot with is turnovers and Wemby taking random shots from the perimeter. Like he can shoot the three, but he was 0 for 8 from the three.
That's big.
If you are missing, granted, shoot or shoot, that's always how it's going to be, right? But if you're 0 from 8, I think you should stop. Like,
Yeah, I
Yes,
agree.
clean looks too.
and they were clean, but they just weren't falling for him, you know. Like, but he didn't adjust his game. He was 5 from 17 from the field, so like that's a little bit of the immaturity from not being in the playoffs that much. And so I feel like as time goes on, his IQ will continue to get better. It's great you're 7'4", $2.15 worth of change, but like you have to understand this is the playoffs. The expectations are higher. You are a defensive player of the year, so you have to basically adjust how you play a little bit. Going 0 from 8 from the 3 and then continue to shoot it is unacceptable, especially if you're trying to win a ring. That's my only thing.
So I'm still going to give the Spurs the edge in this series, and the main reason is because do we expect for Wemby and De'Aaron Fox to go 10 for 28 again combined? Like that's a big ask. That's why. So they were terrible from the field, and they barely lost the game, right? So is that repeatable? So the Spurs have shown they don't need Wemby to drop 30 for them to win. If Wemby gets 20, if Wemby gets his 20 and 10 and 4 blocks, that's enough for them to win. And if De'Aaron Fox just does not shoot as terrible as he did, 5 for 14, I mean, a few of those shots go in, we're having a different conversation. So yes, I think the series is tight. I think the series is probably going to go 7. I think what we're going to have to see is Mike Conley, how much is he going to be able to contribute over the course of the series? I mean, listen, he is old, and unfortunately, he's not LeBron. But if they get they got what's dude? Terrence Shannon had 16. He didn't shoot very well, but he had 16. Julius Randle and Jaden. If that continues to happen, yes, they're gonna give him a problem. I just think that they also need for the Spurs to shoot bad, and we haven't seen them do it. Again, this is their first run through the playoffs, so they might get the lemon booty. That's very possible.
I think the also big factor that we haven't addressed yet is Anthony Edwards' health. Yeah, that bone bruise is something serious. Like he lands wrong after a layup, he's done for the series or potentially for the rest of the season going into the next season. So I like the minute restriction. I love the fact that when he came back, he didn't lose a step. I think if he didn't drop 18 and he wasn't as efficient as he was, because he's 2 for 3 from 3.
Yeah,
and he was
8 for 13
from the field. I don't think the game is as close as it is. I don't even think they win this game, to be honest with you. Yeah. And like granted, he had like 2 crucial turnovers at the end, but I think if he didn't play last night, that be more Uncle T, you are 100% right. We are having a different type of conversation today.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move to Kev's favorite topic. We got Cavs Pistons. Pistons jump out on top 1-0 with a 111-101 victory. Hey, I mean this is gonna be a good series. Look, James Harden has shown up to play. I'm kind of pulling up the stats now. James, he had 22. He had 22 and 8 rebounds, but 7 turnovers though. Yuck. Donovan Mitchell, 23 points. I mean, the conversation's going to start heating up on Donovan Mitchell, man. I mean, it's going to have to start. It's going to have to start getting warm for him. I mean, because it's like second round of the playoffs. I expect you to do a little bit more. Now, look, the Pistons are a good defensive team, and again, I don't know. I'm not Shaq. I'm not gonna be like, I need Donovan Mitchell to score 45. Just no. I watch basketball. I understand, but I just feel like in these moments when the game is tight, he's just not there. And I mean, he hit a big three, I think, with like a minute left, but it's still, I don't know. I'm just not seeing enough from Donovan Mitchell this whole playoff run. So, Kev, I'm gonna let you lead this one off because these are your boys. Talk to me. Tell me why the Cavs have a chance in this series.
I'm gonna tell you what had happened. Let me tell you what had happened, right? You know, the tripped out part, man. It's like you look at Donovan. Some of his best moments were when, you know, he had his moments in the bubble with Utah. And when you think about it, he was at the top of the key. He was facilitating, you know, he was being a playmaker. He kind of determines it, you know. And I think now with the presence of James Harden, unlike with Darius Garland, we know Darius would kind of, just kind of fold, just wouldn't necessarily be there wouldn't necessarily be available. Whereas with James, while he's available, you know, James is at the top of the key. James is kind of putting us in our sets. And I don't know, maybe that little bit of delay is throwing Donovan off. Maybe we're gonna see a better Donovan if he's at the top of the key. But I also feel like we might need to look into that, because what I noticed about James Harden, especially if you go back and look at the last 3 minutes of the game, James Harden was exhausted. He was exhausted.
Yeah.
He was exhausted, man. I've never been in the NBA before, but I do know what it's like to play basketball when you're fatigued, right? That chest pass, that bounce pass, instead of thumbs down, it's a little lethargic, it's a little lazy. And I just thought like he had such a bad turnover in the paint just down the stretch, but it was such just laziness. Also, go back around the 2:15 mark. Donovan came in to close out. He's yelling at James, "Go this way." James is like, yeah, don't play with matches. He was exhausted.
Yeah.
He was exhausted. So I'm not necessarily worried. If I'm being transparent, I did believe coming in we were going to lose the first 2 games in Detroit. I expected. I do think it'd be a better effort game too. Maybe we were a little fatigued coming from that 7-game series, against our previous opponent. But I just feel like we'll probably get the next 2 at home when we get there, but it'll really heat up between games 5 and 6, and I expect us to win it. But I don't know, B-more. I think we have to look at maybe taking James and swinging him at the 2 and allow him to make less decisions. Maybe that'll kind of get Donovan going, but something's throwing off Donovan's rhythm. I just haven't figured it out yet.
Or even faster decisions, because James like to dribble the ball into the wood. Go ahead, J Money.
I think I have an idea as to why Donovan Mitchell started off slow.
Was it Coco Jones?
Coco Jones wasn't there, baby. Coco Jones wasn't there.
My bad.
She wasn't there. If Coco was there, we are looking at a prime Kobe Bryant and Donovan Mitchell. I promise you. No, I agree. I think another thing that we have to think about as well too is James Harden hasn't been this far in the playoffs in a long time. So maybe it's fatigue. Maybe it's just him being out of playoff shape is taking some type of effect. And I don't think it's an age thing either. I think it's because you have been on teams that haven't been this far in years. Your body isn't used to it yet. And like when you're not on the court that much, it's like for me for football, if I started for a while, but then I didn't start. And then my body took more hits. It took a heavier toll because I wasn't used to starting all the time. So like his body has to adjust. I don't think they're going to go far, unfortunately, this year. But now that they have a taste of going to the second round again, especially James Harden, because we all have seen all year when James Harden is in regular season shape, he is amazing because that is what we see. He is not missing a step. He'll have some games, but he bounces back really fast. I think it's because it's the playoffs. He's not in good playoff shape. But I think next year, if he decides to stay with Cleveland, because I think it's a 1-year contract that he has left with Cleveland, I think we are going to see a different James Harden. With Donovan Mitchell, I think the Cavs need more pieces behind them, not at the point guard position because they have Dennis Schroeder. They have Keon Ellis. They need more consistent shooters around them.
You know what they need. You see that crown. That's next year. But go ahead, be more. My bad.
No.
So my biggest thing that from game 1 and I didn't watch the whole game, just some spots, is where was Jared Allen? Because Jared Allen has always been my person. I'm like, look, if the Cavs are rolling, there's not a lot of centers. So Jared Allen, he can be that guy in most of these series. And Jared Allen had all of 2 points, 2 points, and 3 rebounds. I mean,
That's crazy.
and 4 personal fouls. So Jalen Duren was putting the beats on him. And listen, and look, and Duren didn't score a lot. He had 11, but he had 11 points, 12 boards, and 2 blocks, and 1 turnover. So, and that's exactly what they need from him. Exactly what they a rim runner, get those points, grab the boards. So, like in the East, these are the only real like centers. I mean, you could count Mitchell Robinson, but he doesn't really do much offensively. But as far as like big guys, really, it's really like them. I mean, Joel, of course, but we know Joel is just a shell of himself. You know, like he's not 2 years ago MVP Joel.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what I'm seeing. Like I don't know what the answer. Like you can't expect Max Strus to drop another 19 points. Like if you can't depend on him. You know, Dean Wade didn't really show up. He didn't take a lot of shots. Evan Mobley, I need more out of him. I keep waiting for this breakout moment for him because I feel like there's a lot of promises. Like when I see him play, I'm like, there's something there. There's like greatness there that he's almost, but I keep waiting for it. He just doesn't do it. He does just enough to make you feel like there's more, but maybe he's just a 16-point scorer, 16.5 board type, you know, that maybe that's his ceiling. But I keep wanting more from Evan Mobley, and it's just not happening. So I think that's one of the reasons I'm kind of down on Cleveland. Like I love Donovan Mitchell, but him and Evan Mobley, I just expect so much more because I've seen these flashes, and every year we get to the playoffs and they do the exact same thing. So maybe it's me. So maybe I need to stop having these expectations for them.
I have a question for you guys. Do you think Evan Mobley needs to be shipped somewhere? Because I feel like when we look at Evan Mobley, I feel like we're getting an Andrew Wiggins type of player and like potential. Like Andrew Wiggins, when he was younger, he was with the Minnesota Timberwolves. They called him what? Canadian Jordan or something like that?
Yeah, Maple Jordan.
Maple Jordan. Yeah, Maple Jordan. I don't know. Like Evan Mobley has a lot of potential, and you are correct. And so maybe it's a system thing, or maybe it's a confidence thing, because this is his 3rd or 4th year in the league, and I feel like he's a one-time All-Star. Is that right? Or is he just a superstar?
That's right.
So
he made All-Star game, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe it's a system. Maybe he needs a system where he is able to do much more, where there's more expectation from him, because I feel like he hides behind Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, and now James Harden, to where the spotlight is on those 3 guys and it's not so much on Evan Mobley. You know what I mean? Unless I'm just kind of like, maybe I'm missing something. And I'm gonna ask. Kev, I would love to hear your opinion on this too, because you're the Cleveland expert. So I would literally love to know, like, what do you think it could be when it comes to Evan Mobley?
Hey, what were those infamous words that Aaron Rodgers said? Relax. Hey, Money, don't go blowing up my team all willy-nilly. Don't go do that, Jay Money. But I understand your point. My brother. I think it puts the emphasis, though, back on your point guard. You know, your point guard has to facilitate, create offense, make it easier. You know, but Jared Allen had 2 and 3, but 2 points, 3 rebounds. But also go back to James Harden, 7 turnovers. You know, when you have that lefty in that pick and roll, the lob is there, the pick and pop, all these things are supposed to be there. And we've seen that success. We saw Evan Mobley have a career high this season based upon that style of play. Like, where did it go? But it all starts with your point guard. And again, I don't want to be ultra critical of James Harden, but I did feel like I said, he looked totally fatigued down the stretch in his game. And when you're a tired basketball player, your efficiency level goes down. You miss things. And I feel like, maybe we put Donovan to be more of that playmaker, let him make some more of those decisions, because James, maybe, I don't think the moment's too big for him. I know you said he hasn't been this deep in the playoffs. You're right. But yeah, he's on a good team, and with this team, it has to be a team effort. You know what I mean? And Detroit was up and down that Orlando series, and they kind of got it right. But the others are picking it up. Where's Dennis Schroeder? You know, you go back to look how we almost lost that previous game. His erratic ball handling, turnover. So it's a team loss sometimes. But I think we have to lean on our top guys, J Money. But don't blow the team up just yet. Not yet.
I have one more question.
Hold on. I just want.
Go for it.
He needs to stay in Cleveland. I mean, he needs to stay in Cleveland. Like there is for what they need from him. I mean, he kind of gives them what they kind of need. It's just in the playoffs. We need a little bit more from Evan Mobley. Like I don't think you can easily find fair or equal value on the market for Evan Mobley. So because it's hard to find you can't just find a number 3, right? Like normally number 3 they kind of fall into their place, so you just can't go looking for one, and they've got one, so they just kind of figure it out. Like, hey, we need a little bit more from you, so pick up the pace.
That makes sense. My last question is, Donovan Mitchell. Do you think that I feel like this? I feel like Donovan Mitchell used a lot of his magic when he was with Utah, as far as playmaking goes. And now that because that can be super exhausting of carrying a franchise for 4 or 5 years he was
Something
with
like
them. And then you go to another franchise where you don't have to carry it so much, but you're still kind of mentally exhausting. It's like leaving a company for that you've been with for 20 years, and then you go because you work so hard, and then you go to another company, and the company is like, hey, we actually appreciate you. Take a load off. And you're like, you guys do this here? You have cappuccinos? You got espresso machines? So I wonder if the burnout is still catching up with Donovan Mitchell, because he's been with Cleveland for 2 years now, I think. Yeah. And so, do we need extra grace for him?
So let me tell you about that, because oddly enough, that happened to your boy in the real world. So no, when I found my new place, I was fine. So I'm like, oh, this is what you guys do here? This is what you're going to pay me here? Oh, okay, cool. I can walk around and people know me. Oh, great. No, I'm invigorated because they're paying me what I'm worth, and they're letting me cook. And that's the same thing was happening with Donovan Mitchell. He got the contract, they're letting him cook, so he needs to cook. Listen, they brought James Harden to be his accomplice. It's Donovan Mitchell's team, because they're like, we need just an extra person who could. They thought taking the ball handling out of his hands, also someone who could score, would help him. And he's doing the same thing. I mean, I haven't run an analysis, but I feel like his last year playoff stats are probably going to be right in line with this year. So, it wasn't Darius Garland. I mean, I'm sure it's helpful to have James Harden there because he's available. To Kev's point, always.
Availability is the best ability.
But Donovan Mitchell's probably doing the same exact thing. So I don't know.
I get that, Jay. I get that, B more. I get that, Jay Money. I don't think it's a burden, Jay Money. I really don't. I just think it's just it's a team game. I think also we're coming off of, we won first round. We didn't lose the first round series. We won to get here. They both played well in game 7. They didn't play well in game 1. But I think sometimes, as fans, we it's something to talk about. If he didn't play well, I'm gonna either criticize him, I'm critiquing, I'm gonna get feedback, whatever it is. But sometimes you just gotta relax. It's best of 7. The number 1 team in the East won game 1. Okay, they did what they're supposed to do. Let's see what they got game 2. You know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll see. I think we can be better.
So just to close this out, his numbers are actually worse this year, which makes sense because James Harden is there. But yeah, so last year he was averaging 30. He was averaging 30 points. This year so far, just 23. Rebounds are up, assists are down, which makes sense. But he's also shooting worse this year. So that's the key thing. He shot 48% last year. He's shooting 43% this year.
That makes sense too. Yeah.
So
because he's an off the dribble shooter.
But that's 6 points here or there. That's a 6. So there's just something to look at with Donovan Mitchell. So Lakers Thunder. I mean, look, the Lakers are giving them right now all they can handle.
Mhm.
I think what's the score right now?
65-76.
Yeah. So hey, I still think the Lakers gonna end up losing this game by 15. That's my mark. But I think what we're showing is that the Lakers, this is going to be a competitive series. I don't know how many games the Lakers can win, but the Lakers won't get blown out. I think the Lakers actually kind of match up with them fairly well. It's just there's that talent difference. And we're starting to see it with the whole that we talked about at the beginning of the season. Austin Rivers in the playoffs, that physicality, we're starting to see it now because he's come over injury, but his shot's not falling right now. They're relying on 50-year-old LeBron to kind of be their offense, and he's doing his best. He's got 18 in the third quarter. So I just don't know with this Lakers team. I know they don't have enough, but I think it's going to be competitive. But it might be like how they were with the Nuggets a couple years ago, where they still lost 4-2, but they were competitive. But it's just not enough for them to actually win these games.
Can I ask you a question, Uncle T?
Yeah.
Why does LeBron's age keep increasing every time you talk about it?
Because the man is old.
He's 50 today, and next week he'll be 95. So, and the week after that, he's 120. So, go ahead, Kev.
So be more. Are you older than LeBron or younger than him?
I'm actually older than him. Yep.
I know that. So the irony in that, J Money.
But LeBron has way more miles in his body than I do.
Oh my goodness. But so when you look at this series, I like regular season, they were blowing the Lakers out. It's like the games that weren't even close. So to be down 10-11, I get it. To your point, they could viably lose by 15, but it doesn't look the same, doesn't feel the same. I think sometimes you got to go look at how the game is played, and it does put emphasis on they're going to need AR to really be electric because I need him to help create. You know, I shouldn't rely on this 41-year-old player to create offense and to be all of these things. What 41 has ever delivered with that on his shoulders, right? So I do think I need the others to kind of create and make it easier for these catch and shoot guys. Where's Rue? You know, it's like we go from one series, these guys are getting off. This next series, they're not. And it puts the emphasis on LeBron carrying so much burden. Go back to LeBron. Is LeBron holding them back? Now he's carrying us. You know what I mean? It's such a convenient thing that people do when it comes to LeBron James, but it's okay. But I like the fact that they're playing really close. I just think it's going to take a committed effort. But I don't know. I think I'm still a little worried, to be honest with you. I ain't worried about this matchup. I would love for Luka to kind of come through that door, but he just may not be there. But I'm going to need more out of AR-15.
So before you, Josh, AR-15 is 1 for 9 right now from the field. Now, granted, he's 1 for 9. They're only down 7 right now, but still.
Is those on-ball defenders? Those on-ball defenders that crowd him? He has issues with, and that's how I felt about Cooper Flag, except Cooper has a little more size, but like Dort and all those little in-between guys give AR-15 fits.
I think the Lakers can pull this one off.
Wait, the series?
Yes. I think they can pull it off for this series.
So Josh is on drugs. So let's hear this.
The OKC are the defending champs from last year. They are all still very young, but we still have to look at the Lakers roster that they have more champions on that roster and much more playoff experience and finals experience than OKC does. I feel like the big factor of this too, though, is that DeAndre Ayton, it's a big man versus big man game. Because if OKC has a very active Chet Holmgren, a very active Isaiah Hartenstein, a very active Jalen Williams, and then a very active 3, if DeAndre Ayton is not active and physical, they are not going to win this series.
Yeah.
I have been saying this, I think, all year, and I think I put in the group chat too, in my Bernie Mac voice, America, the boy's soft. I can't I think DeAndre Ayton is way too soft. I think Jackson Hayes is the perfect example of a very physical and active player because he is defending very well. He may not give you a lot of points, but if you continue to give him some lobs, he's making his presence known. He's altering shots. I think he's the main reason as to why he's getting so much floor time in this series, especially right now, because I think I've seen him more than I have seen him DeAndre Ayton, because he's part of the reason as to why this. Yeah, he's active. He's part of the reason as to why this lead isn't ridiculous. If you had DeAndre Ayton on the floor, you are correct, Uncle T. It'd be a 15-plus lead right now, or even a 25-30. So I think the Lakers could come away with this one. I think it's going to be another game before we see Austin Reeves back to his normal self, because he does need to get his legs back under him again, because an oblique injury is no joke.
True. Bro, so the main Jalen Williams is out.
Oh, I meant the center, Jalen Williams.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm making a point. The main Jalen Williams is out. If he was in there, Austin Reeves wouldn't have any room. Like, it would be Caruso and him one and like, so that and I'm not sure when J-Dub is coming back, but that's the thing. They're doing it. They're only up this amount, but their number 2 player is not playing.
True.
So I don't like.
Just like LA's number 1 isn't playing.
Is out, yeah.
But I get it.
So Kev, me and Josh were talking about this before you came on.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's better that Luka's not playing this series for the Lakers. And my main reason is his defensive weakness against a team like this will be such a liability. Because who do you trust to put him on that is not going to be just fatal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even who you put him on, they're just going to relentlessly switch. And that's why, yes, Luka might be able to give you 50, but if he's giving up 55, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, I think for this series,
you're okay with it.
I'm okay with it. I mean, I think they will be more competitive with them. I just don't know where he fits, where he can actually help this team, because he's just so bad. He's Jalen Brunson, right? He's a cone, right? So, and the Knicks didn't match up well against this team either. So that's all I'm saying. I like Luka not being on the court for the series.
J Money. So he said fire that hoe and Coach Mazzulla. But he sat there and said the Lakers are better without Luka in this series.
No
way. No way. If you're talking first round, maybe so, but this series, come on, be more. This guy was an MVP candidate. Luka at any moment in time can look like the best player on the planet, and you're going to tell me the Lakers are better in this series without him? No way. You need that firepower. Sometimes the best thing is a strong offense. If the defense is limited, I need firepower, and I think having him out there offsets so much. And defensively, sure, I think the irony sometimes with bad defenders, regardless, we just give them that tag. Though at times the effort is there. This slim fit Luka, showed you a little effort. I'm not saying he's a good defender. I'm just saying effort at times. But you're describing him like he's just like he was going to be a detriment to us. No way, be more.
So my point is this. You're looking at this OKC team who can just have a platoon of players they can run at Luka at any given time. So he might get 40, but if he's taking 40 shots, it doesn't matter. And I think that's what this team could do to Luka. So you're right. Marcus Smart might only be able to give you 14 points. But Marcus Smart isn't going to – he plays good team defense and good ball defense, because he's old also. But he can give you good on-ball defense enough to kind of slow people down. I don't – listen, again, I know my opinion is unorthodox, but when I look at what Luka doesn't give you on the defensive end against this OKC team, like if they're playing the Spurs, they're playing the Nuggets, any other team, but this team, this OKC team, nah, man, he's better in his black T-shirt getting healthy.
No, sir. Those small little guards don't bother me anymore. You need a guard lengthy like McDaniels from Minnesota. That's what gives Lucas fits. You throw Dort and Caruso, he's posting them little guys having his way and creating for others. That's what's gonna make
He's
Aiton
not,
get off
dude.
with the pick and roll. Them
He's
little
not,
guys don't bother him. What's
dude.
gonna bother him is the length of an active defender.
He's not.
Just like Jalen Brown did, J Money, length of an active defender.
Dort and Caruso are strong. They might be
Sure.
small, but they're strong. So he's not moving Lou Dort. He's not moving Lou Dort. No. He's
Barbecue chicken.
I gotta agree with Kev though.
Barbecue
I
chicken.
do.
Little dudes ain't gonna do it.
I agree with Kev though, because you got to remember Dort and Caruso are about 6'4", 6'5".
Right.
Luka is 6'7".
He is. He's
Like,
a big boy.
6'7", 230 pounds. And I think OKC also lacks weight, because I think the heaviest player on that roster is Isaiah Hartenstein.
But they're
And I
all
think he's
strong.
like 250.
They are
strong.
not frail. They're not frail guys.
They're not frail, but at the end of the day, you can say the same thing about Wemby. Wemby is 215 but strong, but if you back him down, he is going underneath the rim. Like Luka is super strong. 6'7", 230. That's nothing to blink at. Like, that's, especially if you're fit. What? Oh yeah, I'm putting everybody in the post.
Okay.
And if you're Bron too, Bron is 6'8", 250, and he just put Lou Dort under the rim right now, but give him a little lay. Like,
you think Luka's as strong as LeBron?
I'm not saying he's just as strong. I'm just saying they're both.
Okay.
I'm just saying weight matters. Body type
agree.
matters. It's great that you are 6'7" and skinny, but if I really want to put a shoulder in your chest, I promise you, I'm cracking your chest. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm 5'10", 285. So if you want to try to go in the post with me, sure, have fun. You are going to hurt. I promise you, and you're not going to.
So y'all okay with Shea getting 50 then? Because here's why. You got LeBron, you got Austin Reeves, and Luke on the court. All right. LeBron can't guard Shea the whole game. LeBron is a spot really good on-ball defender at this point in his career.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to hunt Austin Reeves and Luka the whole game. This isn't back to Joe Mazzulla. This isn't rocket science. This is what the Hawks did to Jalen. This is what the Hawks did to Jalen Brunson. The Hawks just didn't have enough. The Hawks just didn't have enough to do it consistently. You do this to people like this. You've got two terrible defenders. Shea is going to get 50, and J Dub is going to get 25. This is what I'm telling you. Dog, Shea, how much does Shea have right now? And
he has 18, and it's in the third quarter.
He's gonna fit. Listen, watch him finish with 27 above. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
But be more. You're telling us, but sometimes you jump with the narrative to kind of support and extend it. One minute he's gonna have 50, but J Money said he got 18. I don't disagree with you, but also the Thunder's offense isn't predicated on running around finding that matchup. It's not like that. Like, but no, Shea dictates which lane. Which sometimes they give you the pick and pop. Chet can shoot the long three, but Shea just stays in the paint. Look how many free throw attempts that he gets. And I just say to say, I get you, but don't describe it when Luka's out there that he's just such this mismatch where they're gonna just struggle mightily. It goes both ways. Both ways, and Dort and Caruso are good wing defenders. You put them in the post, they're not as effective. Luka's an exceptional post player. Exception. He's not 6'7". I think he's 6'9", 6'8", 6'9". He's much bigger than that. So
he's gonna draw the foul. He's gonna draw the foul under the paint.
Come on, man. Come on.
During the season, the Lakers. I'm gonna fill up the stats. I remember this. During the season, when those three were playing together, the game that they did play together, their defensive rating was worse. So I'm not making this up.
It's not happening in the playoffs. Okay, it's not going to happen in the playoffs.
Man, come on, talk to him.
It's not happening. You know what? Matter of fact, the Wolves, when Dallas played against the Wolves in the playoffs, and the Wolves were a great defensive team because they still had Rudy Gobert. they had Anthony Edwards, who was still a fantastic defensive player, and Luka still cooked him and hit a game-winning shot in their face and won the series and took them to the finals. So you can't, and I would say at that time Minnesota was about the same defensive prowess as the Thunder they are right now. So I'm 100% with Kev.
Okay, I'm dealing with
And
facts.
he was without a healthy Kyrie.
I'm dealing with facts, not feelings. The trio, when LeBron, Luke, and Austin Reeves played together this year, their defensive rating was 120.5, near the bottom of the league. So I'm not making this up, y'all. I'm not just pulling stuff out of my head. I know what I've seen. I know what the analysts have said. When those three are on the floor together, they're defensively terrible.
When did they start getting it right, B More? Did they start winning games?
But when two out of the three are together,
Yes,
they are better.
Did they start winning games? When all three were, did they start winning games? They did. I did, but you make reference to that. You want to just you want to stretch it out to cover the whole stretch. But come on.
Stretching out the time when all three were together. That's just what do you listen?
There's
I'm not making this up.
To say they're better without Luka, I think is blasphemy. No way they're better without Luka. No way.
Okay.
No way.
I'm glad you said it, Kev.
No way.
That is crazy word.
He's top 5 at his position. No way.
Okay.
Crazy word.
All right. Listen, man, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And the numbers say when those three are together, they are a worse defensive team.
Your numbers are convenient. Your numbers are all over the place. Your numbers are plug and play. If your narrative doesn't fit, let me go grab a number that I couldn't readily grab. I gotta go research it first. You gotta question it, J Money.
There's no narrative. I told you how I felt. I said what I saw with my eyes, that when those three are together, they're bad defensively. Then what you should do is when you feel something, see if the facts match it up. The facts matched it up. Listen, if I was wrong, I would have been like, yo, I'm wrong. I'm not like our boy. I don't mind saying I'm wrong, Kev. I don't mind. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll say I'm wrong. This time I'm not wrong.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what all gaslighters say. Uncle T, your feelings are valid because those are your feelings.
Right.
But you are wrong.
Right.
Fine. So
I think
all
this
the analytics are wrong. All the analytics are wrong.
I'm not saying okay, so let's just say this. You are right. Numbers don't lie. However, it is playoff time. This is, I think, the second time they are in the playoffs where all three of them would be somewhat healthy, I think. Because last year they were bounced in the first round, I think, right?
Yeah.
I think Luka comes back, Reeves is back, LeBron is back. I think we have not seen them in playoff shape yet with all three of them, outside of being bounced in the first round. I think if Luka was healthy and Reeves was healthy, we are looking at a completely different series right now. I think we are looking at a much closer game. Luka would probably be having 30 by now, and Shea would still be having 18 or 20 right now. So, because also Marcus Smart, they probably put him at the 3 because he can also play forward, and James at the 4. Stop playing with me, Uncle T. I think
that's coaching, J Money. That's coaching, J Money.
Come on, man.
All right, so look. They down by 14 right now. They're real close to my 15-point L. So I'm just saying it's early in the fourth quarter.
Sure.
So
they're gonna lose.
All right, we got to move on. Good Lord, we're already at the hour mark, boys. All right. Last thing, this is probably quick. Knicks versus 76ers. So I think this series is going to be better than what Game 1 showed us. I think going back to what you were saying with Cleveland, 7-game series, tough series for 76ers. Joel Embiid, you can't really have expected him to kind of bounce back this quickly. I think game two and game 3 kind of really show us what kind of series we're going to have. Because if they get blown out again like this in any other game, it's kind of a wrap. It is what it is. But so and again, like you said earlier, Kev, I like this Philly team. I liked it from the beginning of the year. They just had the misfortune of just injuries, playoff P. He got hurt. He didn't get hurt. He failed that test. He got suspended, failed that test. Joel Embiid had appendicitis going into the playoff. I mean, got an appendectomy going into the playoff. That's just bad luck. I mean, like your appendix burst going to the playoff. Like that's so random. So my only concern is VJ Edgecombe, his inconsistency with shooting the three. Like one game he went 0 for 8. The next game he went like 5 for 9. So it's like, and look, he's not going to stop taking an open three, which I appreciate. If it's open, he's going to take it. I would like to see him get more downhill often because he's so explosive. Like him and Max are so explosive. So what do you guys think with this series? Where do you think it's going? You
got a J Money.
These are my Knicks, and I love and I like the Sixers. I have a lot of respect for them. I think don't get too excited. I don't think the Knicks are gonna just like there's a very high potential chance the Knicks could walk away with the series. There's a very high chance with it. The biggest thing is Jalen Brunson was their highest scorer. He dropped 35. OG 18. Mikal Bridges 17. When was the last time you heard Mikal Bridges drop 17?
Yeah, true.
And then go 3 from 5 from 3. And then Cat went 17, 6, and 6. Are we going to see that again? Both teams have a history of inconsistency. I think that we are looking at a battle of inconsistencies right now for both teams. The 76ers, I believe the Sixers are going to come back and punch right back. Joel Embiid, I think they have a break right now, and he's going to ice himself up. He's going to bring that physicality to Cat because Cat can be a little bit soft and not want to go in the paint or rebound or block or barely play defense sometimes. And don't let it be a close game. You won't find Cat anywhere. So VJ, I'm not worried about VJ Edgecombe. I'd be mainly worried about Tyrese Maxey's inconsistency, and I'd be more concerned about Paul George's effectiveness. Paul George's right now has consistently give them 13 to 15, so we know what to expect. Right. But he's also playing defense as well, which has saved them as well. And he gives buckets if you ask him to, because we saw that with that last series against the Celtics, where Maxey wasn't doing anything, VJ couldn't make anything, but Paul George gave him a nice 5 points, which helped reinvigorate that team. So I think this series is going to be a movie. I think the Knicks could walk away from this series, but the Sixers are not going to make it that easy on them.
Gotcha, J. Mike. Be more. You know he wasn't gonna say nothing about Mike Brown. You know he wasn't gonna say nothing about Mike Brown.
Why would you? He made adjustments last series. He did.
He did. J. Money. I wasn't gonna say nothing about him.
Oh, okay.
You know, but I'm with you, and I think look at it. Like, where was Drummond? Where was the others on this Philly team? I think one thing with this Knicks team is that they do get a lot of involved play. It's not always the starters. And they got a lot of bench pieces, but I think Philly is going to really need a concerted effort. I need PG-13 to be disruptive. I really need him to win the matchup. I need Maxey to be efficient. Joel, give me what you can give me. When Joel isn't in there, I need Drummond to step up. Oubre, I need you to try to be MVP. You're gonna really need that effort to beat this Knicks team because they can come at you in a lot of different ways. Cat is inspired. He's not afraid of Joel. And it's going to be intriguing. I do expect a dog fight. I think, to your point, be more if they blow him out again, game 2. I don't know, man. I don't. It might be 1, 2, 3, can't home.
Right. Hey, yeah. What would you say about Mike Brown then? Right. Right. Now he's a good coach. Now he's maybe we were wrong. Yeah.
I mean, look, so there is pressure on him because people are down on Detroit. So people think that this is the next year to get to the finals. Mm-hmm. So I think we've been too early on being down on Detroit. I think they're looking like they're rounding into shape. So I think we need to pump the brakes on the next cakewalking to the finals. But that's the expectation right now. So if they don't get to the finals, there'll be some looks over there at Mike Brown.
Yes, sir.
One more thing about the Pistons. Mm-hmm. I'm glad they're finally playing like a number 1 seed.
Yeah.
I feel like they got bullied around too much against Orlando. That should have been a game 4 or 5 finish. That was disappointing to see from them last series. That was crazy.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we go round this out with final thoughts. So, Cam from Ohio, I'm gonna let you kick this off.
My man. You know what, B more? It's like what do you believe? It's like this season, like the heartstrings kind of has us all over the place. You know, 1 minute this team is a front runner. Next minute this player's a front runner, and then things switch up, and then an injury occurs. But right now, I think we're still seeing the best teams remaining, and I think it's going to be a dogfight for every series. Will we get lucky and see 4 game 7s? I don't know. I think potentially it could be there, but I got my popcorn ready, and for me, a dream NBA Finals is the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, we all have dreams, but hey, listen, man. You know what? Shoot for the stars. At least you'll land on the moon if you missed them. All right, Jay Money, what you got for us?
Mine's pretty quick. LeBron James is the greatest player of all time, and he beat Michael Jordan. And be shocked if you want to, be mad if you want to. I don't care. We haven't seen anyone do anything what he's doing, LeBron is doing anywhere. We see a lot of 40-year-olds in the league who are on the bench and doesn't have that much value. But we are seeing LeBron James at 41, or as Uncle T like to say, 50-year-old LeBron James playing in the playoffs with his team, not sitting on the bench, and still has prime value. Any team would take LeBron James anywhere. Michael Jordan at 41 was probably smoking a cigar on the golf course. So I think the argument ends. LeBron James is the greatest player of all time, and he beats out Michael Jordan. Thank you.
Goat talk.
So, because it's final thoughts, I'm not going to rebut what Jay Money said. I'm just going to let him live. So what I am going to talk about is the NBA playoffs. This playoffs have been, for me, up and down, because I thought the Cleveland Toronto series was going to be boring, and it turned out to be cinema. I thought that the Celtics were going to walk through Philly, and they lost. Fire home Missoula. And I did not think that the Spurs would lose the first game to Minnesota. So this playoffs is kind of what I've always wanted from basketball. Just be somewhat unpredictable, except for OKC. They are Thanos. They are inevitable. No matter what you do, it all comes back to OKC. They've got the gauntlet. They've got the Infinity Rings. They've got the Infinity Stones. They are inevitable. And while I'm watching them putting the beats on the Lakers right now, 91-75, it seems like they can't miss another 3. So, it looks like this team is just going to be a juggernaut. And I kind of like it. I kind of miss dynasties. I'm kind of getting to that point with sports where I'm just like, we need a villain. We need a team to root against. We need a team we want them to fail. And we haven't really had one of those teams in sports really in a while, because free agency, trades, whatever, there's been a lot of parity in all sports. I mean, in baseball, you got kind of the Dodgers, but we haven't really seen like a evil empire since really the Patriots. And OKC, they have the makings of a future evil empire, and I'm here for it. And I'm here to see more Chet Wemby. I'm here to see this. This is what I want. This is what I've missed. No, we don't like each other. We want to win. We want to win all the time, not some of the time. So yeah, I'm excited for these playoffs. I'm glad it's happening this way, and I think OKC is going to repeat because they are looking ridiculous right now. All right, so that said, man, we've got another great episode. We got Jay Money, Care from Ohio. Just be more, man. We signing out. Peace. It won't end.